We're now 2.5 years into Abenomics, the grand plan to revive Japan's economy with 3 arrows. The first 2 arrows, monetary policy and fiscal policy, are generally acknowledged to have gone fairly well, but all you hear from foreign investors to Tokyo is complaints about the third arrow. They want to know, where are the structural reforms to revive Japan's economic growth? I'm joined by my colleague in the Bureau, Leo Lewis. Leo, could you give us the positive case for the third arrow of Abenomics? What's worked?
Well, you've got to look at this as a long-term game, and in some cases you're looking at a work in progress, and some of those works in progress are actually not bad, and often the foreign investors you mentioned underestimate the complexities of taking on some of the vested interests and the extent to which Abe has been bolder, certainly, than many of his predecessors.
So where has he taken them on?
In agriculture, it's an area that it's complicated. The vested interests are huge. Elections in the past have hinged on the rural lobby, and he's taken that on. Corporate governance has been the standout area. The fact that companies now want to raise their ROE, that they're now being held to a new index that supposedly shames them into raising their return on equity and generally being more shareholder friendly. Those are both genuine positives. On Womenomics as well, he's pushed forward legislation, in fact, that makes companies feel under greater pressure to promote women, certainly larger companies. There are flaws in it. Japanese society will take a good deal of time to truly change. It's going to take more than that law. But in terms of admitting that there are problems and tackling them, there are strong positives on that side of the scorecard. On the other hand, as you know, it has been difficult, and there are areas of the third area that have been much more difficult.
Well, so let me talk about a few of those areas. 2 crucial ones, which Mr. Abe has talked about, but frankly hasn't made any significant progress in reform, would be labour reform and immigration. So on labour reform, one of the few measures that was on his agenda, which was a measure to allow white-collar workers to be paid for output instead of hours worked, has stalled, and that's been pulled from the current diet session. On immigration, which the IMF is pushing very strongly as really the only way Japan can grow significantly given its declining labour force, there's very little progress. A few things here and there, ski instructors, foreign IT workers, but you look at the headline numbers, there's really no significant change on immigration, and most significantly, he hasn't changed the political debate on immigration in Japan either. Leo, what would your summing up be?
Give it time. That we are looking at a work in progress. As long as Mr. Abe remains here and remains the most powerful figure, unchallenged really within his party, that we are looking at something that should progress very steadily, very slowly, but at least it will be progress.
I think the problem is Mr. Abe is being judged against fairly unrealistic expectations of what it's possible to do. I'm Robin Harding, this was Leo Lewis in the FT's Tokyo Bureau.